Hey guys, and welcome back to the Brantzen Poker Vlog. Before we get into today's video, I have some news. We hit 300 subscribers, yay! I really appreciate you guys tuning into my journey, and as a thank you, I wanted to share some of my profits of my next session with 2 of my subscribers. The rules are simple. All you need to do is make sure you're subscribed, leave a like on this video, and leave a comment letting me know what you like about my videos or what you'd like to see on the channel. That's it. I'm going to randomly select 2 winners, and they're each going to get 10% of my profits of my next winning session. So that could be $10, it could be $100. Oh, and no cheating. If you leave multiple comments, only your first comment is going to count as an entry. I'll give you guys a week from the date I post this video, and in the next video I'll announce the winners, and we'll get in touch, and I'll see how I can get you the money. It'll probably be via Venmo or PayPal. I don't know. I could send it to you in the mail. I don't know yet. But we'll figure it out. And with that, let's head into today's video.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is that I just don't like till, you know. Alright, we got the flush. Okay, he's got a set of 8s. We got him. Hold.
Tell him he's got a lot of class, and it's all low.
Playing 2-3 today at Ocean's 11, we buy in for $300, and the first hand on the vlog we pick up is Ace-9 of diamonds in the cutoff. The hijack, who introduced himself as Kyle, limps, and we make it $15. It folds back around to Kyle, and he calls. Already from the first orbit, I've seen that he's been playing a large percentage of hands, so I keep in mind he could be playing with a wider range of cards than most players. The flop comes out 2-2-5 with 2 hearts, and he checks it to me. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past this player to have a hand that would hit this board, so I take my ace-high showdown value and I check it back. The turn comes the 10 of hearts, bringing a 3rd heart to the board. He checks again to me. Again, I feel like I have a decent showdown value with ace-high, so no need to bet here. His friend from across the table then chimes in.
Find your way on the block, dude. On my way on the block. This donkey bluffs on the river with an ace.
As Kyle starts narrating what he's going to do, the river comes out an ace, and he puts out a bet of $20. Hitting an ace on the river makes it a pretty easy call, though I probably would have called a bet there even if I hadn't made a pair.
I'm on the block for sure.
He shows 7-8 off, and I take down the pot.
He's on the vlog, guys. He's on the vlog.
In the next one, Kyle opens it up to $15 from the low jack, and I look down at ace-king off in the hijack. I make a standard 3-bet to $60. It folds to the small blind, who puts in the 4-bet to $72. Now, wait, it turns out that's illegal, so the dealer gives him $12 back, and it's just a call. Either way, cold calling a 3-bet from the small blind always looks extremely strong to me, and I assume he most likely has a mid to high pocket pair, or maybe like ace-queen or ace-king. Everyone else folds, and we're heads up. The flop comes out 3, 4, 9, and he checks it over to me. Like I said, there's a good chance he could have an overpair here, so I check back in hopes that I hit an ace or a king on the turn. The turn comes out a 6, no good for us, and he bets $130. I fold, and we're on to the next hand. In our next hand, we're playing 7-handed, and we pick up 7-8 of clubs under the gun. I open up to $12, and it folds all the way around to the big blind, Kyle. We've now been playing with Kyle for a bit longer, and our suspicions are confirmed. He's been playing a super wide range, he's been showing a decent amount of aggression, and doesn't seem to be scared to bluff. He basically min-clicks it to $25, and I make the call. I'm not sure what to make of this 3-bet sizing. I saw him 3-bet earlier to a more standard size with a good hand, so I honestly don't give him credit for having premiums. I think with a really good hand, he'd likely raise more to try to juice me for some more money, as I'm going to call frequently with my under-the-gun range. Anyway, the flop comes out 3-2-8, 2 spades and a club, and Kyle leads out for $25. We have top pair and a backdoor flush draw. We're not going anywhere, and we call. The turn comes out an offsuit 10, and he continues firing for $35. Pre-flop, I mentally ruled out a lot of his overpairs, so even though the 10 isn't great for my hand, in my mind, I could very well still be ahead. I call, and the river brings out a 6, and he fires a 3rd bullet for $75. I really don't love it, holding only a pair of eights. I think about the entire story. He's fired on every street. However, he went for small sizings every time, betting a third pot on the turn and less than half pot on the river. I feel like if he had a big hand like a set or a straight, at some point he would have upped his sizing to get more value from me. I can't exactly make sense of a good but not great hand that he'd be value betting on 3 streets. The story just doesn't add up to me, so I make the call and he shows 3-7 off and we catch him on a bluff. Later, the low jack button and small blind limp, and I get aces in the big blind. Woo! We raise it to $22 and all 3 players call. The flop comes out jack 4 queen, all clubs, which is a terrifying board for me, especially since I'm not holding the ace of clubs. The small blind checks, and in a 4-way pot, I choose to check to see how the other players act and see the board transpire. It checks around, and now the turn comes an offsuit 6, and the small blind checks it over to me. I've now gotten to see every player check after I relinquished the betting power on the flop as the pre-flop raiser. To me, this rules out a lot of sets, 2 pairs, and low to mid flushes in my opponent's hands, as those hands would likely have bet to protect themselves. I now choose to bet, but before I do, I check my cards to make it look like I'm checking for a club. I think it might make it more likely someone calls with just a jack or queen if they think I'm possibly on a draw. I put out $40, the low jack calls, and the other 2 guys fold. The low jack has been the most active player at the table, playing a high frequency of hands and playing them aggressively. He's been involved in a lot of big pots, showing both big hands and bluffs. The river comes in offsuit 2, not changing much on the board. I check in order to possibly induce a bluff from my opponent with a missed club draw or missed straight draw. He does bet $140, and I think against an opponent who's fully capable of bluffing, this is a pretty clear call. I call, and unfortunately he turns over king 3 of clubs for a flopped flush. 2 hands later, that same aggressive player, let's call him Joe, chooses to blind raise to $20 from under the gun. He's already done this a few times, and it definitely incentivizes the action at the table. The under the gun +1 calls, the low jack calls, and then the hijack goes all in for $450. I only have $162 in my stack, and I pick up ace-king suited in the perfect spot. Easy decision to push my chips in. Then, Joe from under the gun checks his cards.
I haven't looked yet. I kind of want to just call without looking. Come on, wake up with something good. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
He folds, the under the gun +1 and low jack fold, and we're off to a run out.
All right, guys, what do you got? Let's get this
Yeah, I got a pair, I think. What pair? Good pair. Good pair? I don't know. What you got?
Ace, king, pocket 10.
King.
Yeah, pocket jacks over there. Ace, king, pocket jacks.
Keep it low, keep it low. Keep it low. Thank you.
Unfortunately, our opponent takes us down with the Lucky Snowmen. I reload for $300, and the very next hand I look at is aces in the cutoff. There's a straddle, the under the gun and hijack limp, and I wait for the chip runner to finish giving me chips before I raise it to $30. The straddle, under the gun, and hijack call, and we're heading 4 ways to the flop with the best hand in poker. The flop comes out queen 6-2 with 2 clubs. It checks around to me, and on this board, I choose to bet for a half pot sizing of $60. The straddle then raises to $130. The under the gun and hijack folds. I have aces, and if I call this, I'll have about $140 left in my stack. Instead, I shove all in for $270 total to charge any flush draws now, or to try and get top pair to call. He calls, the turn comes, the 8 of clubs, and the river is a 3. I show my cards, and my opponent says he had ace-queen, which would make sense, and we take down a pot. Sometime after that hand, I switch seats, and we're playing 5-handed. I don't love playing short-handed, but if Joe's staying, I'm staying. Joe limps from the hijack, and I pick up queen-jack of spades in the cutoff. I raise, and size up to $20 since I know Joe is calling, and he does call. The flop comes out 10-8-3 with 2 clubs and a spade. Joe leads out for $35, and with 2 overs, a gut shot straight draw, and a backdoor flush draw, I'm not going anywhere. I make the call, and the turn comes an offsuit queen. He bets again for $100 this time, and I call with top pair. The river comes a 3, and Joe checks. I contemplated betting or checking here. I was pretty sure I was ahead, but I decided to take the safe play and check it back. He turned over 8-6 offsuit, and we take down the pot. A couple new people sit down, but we're still 5-handed for the last hand of the vlog. The hijack and cutoff limp, the small blind completes, and I look down at ace-4 off in the big blind. I check, and the flop comes out 7-ace-jack. The small blind checks, and I bet $5 to see if anyone is interested in the hand. Oftentimes in a limp pot, since there's no aggressor, no one feels pressure to start the betting and it can just check through, so I bet to deny my opponents from realizing their equity for free. The hijack calls, the cutoff and button fold, and the turn comes a 4. Now that I have 2 pair, I want to start building the pot to get decent value out of my hand. I put out a pot-sized bet of $15, and the hijack calls. The river comes out an ace, so my hand is improved again, this time to a full house. Since I bet decently big on the flop and turn in relation to the pot, I think he shows up with an ace a good amount here. If he has an ace, I think he'll call a large amount on the river, so I bet $50, a little over pot. He thinks for about 15 seconds, lays his hand down, and says,
Jack?
I'm surprised he thought I had a jack and not an ace. He said he was contemplating calling with Jack 10 and wanted to know if it was a good fold. Well, if you're watching this, I had a monster, so good fold. And with that, I called it a night and walked with a small win. Tonight, we were in for a total of $600 and out for $731, for a profit of $131. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for a chance at free money. This is the Brantzen Poker Vlog, and I'll see you in the next one.